You guys, please stay and just listen to me complain for just like a minute, okay? I just listen.
Suck a dick and shut the fuck up.
When I tell you that life is lifing, you have no idea. When I tell you that life is lifing,
I don't know what she's about to say right now, but I'll say this. When above average looking women have hard, struggle lives, it's because they're huge F ups. We all know that attractive women can have easy lives if they play their cards right. And even when they play their cards wrong, it still usually work out for them.
I'm winning any motherfucking way. I can't lose.
Because there will always be some SIMP that'll solve all their problems with a smile on their face.
Yes, I'm a simp.
So if an attractive woman is having a hard life other than, like people passing or something like that, if it got something to do with finances or something to do with her interpersonal relationships, it's because she makes terrible decisions time after time again.
Time after time.
Because all women have to do is pretty much smile and act nice to people and they can win in life. They can have great relationships and they can get taken care of financially if they just smile and act nice to people. That's all they got to do. It's much harder for fellas to have a good life. But let's hear her out. Maybe she'll say something profound.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
everything is going great. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a house. Work is good. My family is amazing. Friends are amazing. Like, life is good. But there is this one part of my life that I cannot figure out. I don't even want to get into detail.
We already know.
I don't even want to get into detail. I just want to say that I will never in my life date again. I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life. I'm over it.
I feel sad.
Yikes. No, look at me.
All that build up and this bitch ain't even gonna say nothing. Look, we already know why she's failing at her dating life. She don't need to say anything. We've seen this story many times before.
Now there seems to be a theme here.
She's picking the wrong men, and those wrong men don't give a damn about her after they get what they want. Matter of fact, let me let a redneck tell you guys what happened to her.
You got pumped and dumped, whored and ignored, popped and dropped, slopped and blocked, plucked then ducked, pressed and left, hit and quit, rammed in and abandoned, sprayed and delayed, throated and ghosted.
Selfless women do not get rewarded in this world. And so that badge of honor that you wear of I'm so selfless, I'm so low maintenance, I put my needs on the back burner, I put everyone else first, you need to cut that out. It is not the flex you think it is. You need to start putting yourself first.
When you take advice from a woman, literally do the complete opposite of whatever she said.
Selfless women don't get rewarded when they're selfless for guys who they knew the first week didn't give a damn about them. There's plenty of nice guys who buy flowers, take women on trips, rub feet, will do anything in the world for their woman, especially a woman who's being selfless about them. So another woman on the internet telling on herself, you picked the wrong men and they don't reward you for being selfless, loving, and caring. What a shock.
If you are ever sad over a boy, the best revenge is to become the best version of yourself. And one way to become the best version of yourself is literally destroying yourself in the gym every single day.
Why do women refer to men as boys? I've heard even women in their mid-30s referring to men as boys, and not even in the condescending way where she's trying to put them down, but just as a general term to refer to men. It's a lack of mental development. That's the first thing I wanted to touch on. Second, do you notice how her definition of bettering herself is something shallow and superficial and physical? She didn't mention anything about reading more, learning how to treat people better, working on her flaws, nothing like that. It's about having the best body she can have.
That is so cheap.
And fellas, here's some advice. Don't ever try to become a better person to get back at an ex. Let it go. Forgive, forget, move on with your life, and just be a better person because you want to be. Most women don't become better people after a breakup. They're worse. And then they get in the next toxic relationship and they're worse and they just keep getting worse. And then they're aging on top of all that. So that's bothering them and making them more mentally ill. It is very rare that a woman is better for the next man than she was for the last man. If anything, she's like, I'm not putting up with as much mess this time. I'm not going to do as much because it didn't pay off last time. Men usually look back and be like, well, why did that relationship fail? What did I do wrong? What can I do different next time? Not all men, but I would say it happens more with men than it does with women. Because women have a hard time admitting they ever did anything wrong, so how can you grow? Even this woman here, she's not reflecting on what she did wrong in her last relationship. She's just talking about working out so she can make him jealous.
When my boyfriend and I broke up last summer, anytime I got sad, instead of wallowing in my emotions and eating pints of ice cream and watching movies, I would go on a walk or I would go to the gym and work out. I literally took my mind off of my emotions by going to the gym. Here's the way that I look at it. You can pity yourself and you can feel sorry for yourself, but at the end of the day, like, what is that truly doing?
I agree. Sitting in the house eating ice cream and just crying and being negative, that's not good. It's not helping anybody. It's not improving yourself. But also, just going to the gym to forget about it isn't healing either. Get some therapy, man.
I'm telling a therapist this and they don't even know what to say to me.
You're just using the gym as a distraction. And let me touch on this. A lot of women have work to do before they can ever be in a healthy relationship, but they rather just be single, keep going to bars, keep hanging out with friends, keep going on vacations, going to hang out with their parents. They'll do anything to avoid addressing the problems they need to address.
I don't know if I'm working with anybody. Damn, I'm crazy. I need to probably do some self-work.
They want a relationship, but they're not willing to do the work to actually get a relationship and be able to maintain a relationship if she does get one. I'm just going to keep distracting myself. Distract myself with work, distract myself with school, distract myself with friends, distract myself with the gym to avoid ever having to face the fact that I'm effed up and I'm never going to find somebody if I don't fix some things. And get over some of my superficial ways as far as, oh, I can't date a guy if he's not 6 foot and jacked.
In the long run, what is that doing to help you? I don't care, call me toxic, but I want to be the hottest ex that they have ever had.
It's all about being hot to them. That's all most women care about, first and foremost. Am I hot? Am I hotter than the other girl? Am I hotter than my ex's new girlfriend? They're so petty, shallow, and superficial. It's crazy.
So I'm seeing a lot of men crying and throwing up for women wanting men to take them on thoughtful dates. Because they say that it's superficial and you don't need no fancy restaurant to get to know someone.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
But let's say you meet a beautiful girl, and let's pretend she decides to go on a date with you. And since you are the type of guy that thinks this, you take her out for ice cream. Because you don't need a fancy place to get to know someone, right? But let's say she has the same mentality. And she thinks, you don't need to look your best to get to know someone. So she shows up to the date absolutely the same as she woke up.
Well, that's true too. You don't need to look your best to get to know someone. And a lot of guys would be okay with a woman just dressing down, not having a face full of makeup. A lot of guys prefer a woman not having a face full of makeup and dressing like she's going somewhere fancy. A lot of guys like the sweats and ponytail look. A girl who could look cute in sweats and a ponytail. Most men wouldn't write a woman off on the first date if she didn't dress super fancy. So let me just nip that point in the bud early.
In sweats, a big t-shirt, slippers, messy hair, and no makeup. And before you men lie in the comments saying how, oh, I wouldn't care, you would never want to talk to her again.
No, the type of guys you go after wouldn't want to talk to you again. Because you're a superficial girl and you go after superficial guys who look like models. So yeah, they're a lot more picky when it comes to stuff like that. But as I always say, women only see the top 20%. They only think about the top 20%. So when they talk about relationships, they only talk about them in a way that would make sense in that world. So she has no idea what she's talking about.
She's brainwashed, dumbed down, emotional, and has no clue as to what she's talking about.
Another red flag about the guy who wouldn't do the dishes for me that I completely ignored. I went to the Renaissance Fair and I bought these beautiful handcrafted journals and handcrafted pens for him. Just so you can see, this pen was about $50 and
what the fuck?
This journal was almost $100. His favorite color is green, and I was at the Renaissance Fair and I wanted to get him a gift and I thought it was so beautiful. When I handed it to him, he said to me, "Wow, I'm never gonna use these, but thanks."
Right. And you're the most likely to do something nice like this for somebody who would say that. You would never do something like this for the guy who would be totally appreciative of it. Because that guy will give you the ick. And how he responded to you giving him this will probably have you buying him more shit in the future. The bad boys keep him on the hook with this bad treatment. And that good treatment keep him off the hook with nice guys.
Ain't that a bitch? You get to say that about a woman. Why can't you say women are wrong when they're wrong?
You want to be making moves on the street, have no attachments, allow nothing to be in your life that you cannot walk out on in 30 seconds flat.
Okay, first of all, I didn't miss the red flags. I looked at them and thought, damn, that's sexy. And that's my problem.